Hi, I'm Jay Allen, the founder of My TrueNORTH and home of the ADDAZERO Business Challenge. I've been invited by Henri these afternoons to be able to make these short videos to introduce myself to you as somebody that's going to come along and support the Tree Surgery Mastermind with some training later this month. So I thought, what better way to be able to break the ice, as it were, than to make this very brief video and to tell you just a little bit about who I am, where I've come from, and what's led me to Henri inviting me to come along later on this month. So like I say, my name's Jay. I started off life in the military. I was a soldier for the first 12 years of my military career until I had a medical accident in the Second Gulf War in 2000 and was medically discharged from the service on a disability pension. However, since then, I've gone on to work at boardroom level for two of the UK's largest supermarket chains in change management. I was responsible for delivering about £500 million worth of additional sales to the Morrison's empire during my period there, and I subsequently went on to do some change management work with the NHS, saving about 4,500 redundancies in the northeast of England. However, I chose to give all of my corporate career up because I got sick to death of being a very small cog in a big wheel and wanted to be able to be the owner of my own wheelhouse. So in 2005, I left corporate and bought my first business. I take my hat off to anyone that's given up a good job or salary to be able to start out with a good idea. I cheated. I used my corporate handshake and a golden handshake from my discharge to be able to invest in buying an existing business. I bought a business with 4 members of staff, and the only reason it was for sale is that sadly the owner had recently been diagnosed with terminal cancer and didn't want to have to lay off staff whilst he went through chemotherapy and radiotherapy, which is quite understandable. So I bought the business in 2005. I got no knowledge or background experience in the industry whatsoever. I simply said to the 4 employees on the day I took over the business, listen, just keep doing what you've been doing whilst I work out what I've just done. However, I was very quick to be able to suggest to them that I had no intent of owning a small business. My whole experience has come from working in a big corporate environment, and I wanted to be able to build and scale my business quickly. Now, thankfully, 3 of the employees were very much on board with that and said, thank God for that, we were rather bored, whereas the other one decided that it was time to be able to leave the business and wasn't really looking to do a full day's work. However, I took those 3 employees and we applied the same scale that I'm going to be working with you to talk about, and we grew that to 22 members of staff over the next 4 years. I subsequently chose to sell that business to the employees on what's called an EOT, or an Employee Ownership Trust buyout, in 2011. Since then, I've done that 3 more times, either setting up or acquiring a business, growing it, scaling it, and then selling it into the management team and moving on. I'm delighted to be working with Henri. I've known Henri for some time now. I've been a guest on his podcast a couple of times already. We share a lot of the same vision and values, and I'm delighted to be able to be working with him and being able to bring to you a mastermind later this month. So thanks very much for listening. Really look forward to being able to see you in a couple of weeks' time. If you haven't already booked on, then please ensure that you do so. We're going to ensure that we're going to light the fire under a few camps and make sure that your business has everything within it to be able to grow and scale significantly and sustainably. God bless, take care, have a great afternoon, and I'll see you shortly.